It's not letting up. What's wrong here, Candace? Okay, we back. Let's take a look. What is this? This is chamomile tea. Let's take a look. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure. Make sure the connection is good. Let's see. Looks like it. Where's my chapstick? I just put something on, but let me put some more on just in case. There we go. All right, so let's get it going. I'll make sure the yeah, let's make sure. Okay, so it looks like everything is connected and looking pretty good. So we're gonna do some charting and take a look at some pairs tonight, this evening. It's approximately 5:19 Central Standard Time, 6:19 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna look through some of the way some of the pairs, the way that the market closed for the day, and we'll see what happens. gonna wait for some people to join in our TikTok. Let me make sure TikTok is connected, and then we can greet some people here. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right, I think we got. Look at my friend. What's up, friend? What's up? What's up, Jay? How you doing, friend? Appreciate you. Yes. Thank you. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. What's up? What's up, Tara? What's going on? I'm making sure we are good to go. Making sure we're good to go. And all right, so let's dive in. So we got some charts to look at, a couple charts we'll look at together, and make it make sense. So let's see where we are. So let's not start on oil. I don't want to start there. Let's go over to the Forex pairs and just kind of dive through. So this is Cardano. Very interesting. I'm gonna take these levels off because we don't need this. This is very interesting the way that this is setting up. Very interesting. I say that because this is coming into a some sort of, hey, let's see if it bounces off of this tomorrow, then I could see it cleaning this up. You know what I mean? Coming up in here, but right now hasn't shown anything, and so these 3 days could have just been a pullback and retest. I traded Cardano maybe at the beginning of this month. Let me go back so we can talk about it. I think we caught this move right here. When was that? So that was last week, the 11th. Yeah. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Wasn't anything to write home about. AUD Canadian dollar. Let me take these off. Some of these we don't need. Take this off. Take this one off. Take this one off. All right, what do we see here? What do we see here? What do we see here? Looks like the market was supported here before. Yeah, it was supported here before. Came down and shoot, went right back up. And look at this over here. Yeah, so if we put this right over here, it was rejected in this area. So that's a very interesting candle pattern. Yeah, very interesting. This one I'm not sure it's been how long that's been on there, but that was probably this original idea. We were waiting on seeing if this was going to be a good setup, and yesterday it was not, and today definitely was not. So let's get that back out of there. Does it want to go higher? So let's take a look at that, because let's talk through it together. And let me make sure we got the comments up on a different screen. So boom, boom, boom. Market fell all the way down here from 108 to basically 90. Pulled up to basically 100. Was a little shy of 100. Put that on there. So we got 90 here, and then we got it pulling up to 100. And any pairs you want to take a look at, drop those in the comments. We'll definitely take a look at them if we have time. Pull up to 100. Pull back down to probably like 95-ish. We were talking about the quarters theory earlier. 95 in this area. Boom. rested around 95, popped right back up to 100, is now currently sitting above 100. So, sheesh, she could run. And some of these I'm just putting on psychological levels. These aren't necessarily the quarters theory levels. But there we go. So, very interesting. Looks like if she, so how long has she been here? So basically 2 weeks. Today is the 17th. Finally got a good close above. Pretty strong indication on the daily chart. It's pretty interesting. So if I was trading this, let's talk through that, because if I wanted to trade this is how I would set this up. If I was interested. Okay, so we got some activity in here. Some activity in here. I mean, obviously we would love to look at how that went up wick-wise and came back down. It could blow through this since this is all sideways movement. I mean, 105 could be a good initial target. It's basically a 1 to 3, depending on if you tighten this stop up or not. So that's interesting. I would give this, I'm going to rate this, right? So I'll give this maybe AUD USD, maybe like a, this is like a B plus. That's a B plus. So we were waiting on Tuesday to close. Tuesday came out and was bullish and it turned around. Yesterday came out and it was bullish as well and it turned around. And then today closing bullish. Now I'm not convinced. I see this as 5 days down and a pullback, but it could certainly go higher. It could certainly go higher. But this is a pretty interesting level right here for the market to reject from. So the market's rejected from this level 1, 2, 3 times. It could break. It really could. This is the weekly chart on the Australian versus the New Zealand dollar. It could break. This would be the 4th time, technically, the 4th attempt to get through this level. Let's see what our Rinko buds say. Let's see what the ATR is on this one. And trust me, if you are leaving a comment, I will certainly see it. It's gonna take me a sec. Yeah, it's just not attractive. What's this? Oh, 0055. Let's take a look. Let's see. Okay, so that is it. So yeah, it would need to get above here, which is closing right into a level. Give me a second here. of my best friends was coming. So what do I think about NLP and trading? I saw that comment come through. Thank you for joining, my friend. Oh, NFP. I thought you was talking about NLP, which is also when you said NLP, I was thinking you were meaning neuro linguistics programming. But yeah, NFP. We one of the things that we were looking at for trading NFP was Rinko, which is something that I think sets you up for success to take a look at Rinko, and that's just looking at the chart that we're on. One of the things I always recommend is going to whatever is your instrument of choice. If it's stocks, if it's currencies, if it's commodities, if it's crypto, going to your currency of choice and looking at the Rinko pattern before that event. So we know that there are different types of events in the currency market. There are scheduled events, right? And then there are the quote unquote unscheduled events. And so unscheduled events, those are a little bit more where you have to play this this game of knowing a little bit more about that market to participate. But with some of the scheduled events, what I notice is how NLP will help you with that direction. So let me just see if we can go back to, and obviously this month we've already seen NFP. Let's switch to a USD pair. Let's go here. Oh, this plan, look, it performed quite nicely. So October, this was the first. The first Friday was the 4th, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, there we go. So NFP. And so dig this. This is something that I personally have seen happen where so NFP was on that on the 4th. But if we go back to the Rinko prior to, generally speaking, I've seen this work more often than not. Now, nothing in the market is 100%, but more often than not, the last Rinko brick will give you the direction, okay? So again, with this month, October, NFP was on the 4th. And so on the 3rd, we had a bearish Rinko brick. And so let me just show you what that looks like. So this trading plan was successful, that was completed. But let me just show you so we can really drill down into what happened on the chart. And I'm glad you asked that because this is something where I feel like if you're trading NFP, at least set yourself up for success. And in fact, don't take my word for it, right? Our next NFP, we'll look at that day. I don't have the calendar in front of me, but let's just say, let me look at the calendar real quick. Let me look at it. And I could tell you for certain. So it's not going to be on the 1st, it'll be on the 8th, right? So before, so the night of the 7th, whatever commodity, whatever currency, whatever instrument, take a look. And you don't have to trade this technically on the 8th, but just take a look and see what direction the prior brick is, and that should give you a general direction of which way NFP may go, depending on if it performs better or worse, right? So right in here, oh, I might have double clicked it. Better, but still, right? So think about that. Allegedly, the forecast was 140, but it was better. So what people probably did was they probably bought, right? So we're gonna look at the 4th and break that down from a candlestick perspective, because sometimes people, so that means that this is gonna look like this versus paying attention to price behavior and what the market is saying. So let's go back in time, and my trading view is set up on Central Time. So this would have been basically the release would have been in here, right? And so even still, getting a sell on that day for that day to just completely plummet, um, it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. So let's just see in here. So this would have been the third. So all this is a third. Oh, okay. So my bad. I was looking at the wrong day. Oh, yeah. So this is NFP right here. And I'm sure we could drill it down to the 15 minute and really take a look. But some people would have been assuming that this was going to go up. But look at how it's just going sideways, right? And so that's one thing that I would recommend that I've definitely seen work if you're looking to start trading NFP, is just notice what happens with, yeah, so the Renko is the chart type, right? So this, we have traditional candlesticks. If you use TradingView, then when you go to your chart type, you have hollow candles, you have bars, you have line charts, you have step line, area, you got all of these different types of charts. And so with Renko, this is based on Japanese interpretation of price behavior, where these bricks paint after the market has run a certain number of pips, right? So either you can specify the brick size, or you can put it on an automatic setting and the market will automatically calculate the brick size. But one of the main easier for you to identify pivot points. Sometimes, like, you can clearly see this turnaround here, right? You can clearly see the market came up to this level and turned around. You can clearly see it came back up to that same level and pulled back. And now it's right back at this level where it swung and then went higher. And so sometimes we come to a chart and we're like, oh man, it's going down, 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 down. And now someone wants to participate, not paying attention to the fact that based on this chart, it's at a level where it previously popped up from. Now, if you look at the candlesticks, that may not always be as clear. You know what I mean? It may not be as clear that it wants to go up, although this is a pretty strong bullish indication, if you know anything about price behavior, price action, to get a swing low like this, and then for the body to close in the upper, basically in the upper portion of this session, that's very bullish. But again, to the point of some people coming to this chart being like, oh, it's been going down for, well, since NFP, people might have jumped in at the wrong time. But this is where Renko, this chart type, helps you to smooth out price action so that you're really getting the real story without having to do a lot of interpretation on what, oh, is that a bullish Harami candle, halfback, XYZ? It's one of those situations where you can really streamline your levels. So let's look at a pair like, let me switch to a naked chart so I can show you. So let's look at Bitcoin. And there is a video on the channel, I'll bring it up in just a second, where we talk about using Renko. So this was what helped us to get into a Bitcoin trade recently. Okay, and you can see how these levels are a lot more straightforward versus quote unquote traditional support and resistance. So these levels, easier to see and easier to pay attention to, versus sometimes with the candles, it's all over the place. And so you can see these clear swings, right? This is a level right here, very clear swing. What I like to say about Renko is it mutes the noise, okay? It mutes the noise for the chart. It makes it very quiet. It's not all the yap, 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 this kind of candle, which also, that's necessary, but at the same time, to see the market reversing, let's just say you saw how the market came here, and then you set up a buy at this level to have, and keep in mind this is Bitcoin, so to get in, and this is for swing trading primarily, right? This is what I use for swing trading primarily. But yeah, no problem. I'm glad you asked that question because yeah, I use Rinko to smooth the charts out and really help with saying, okay, this is more. Because keep in mind, I've been there. We'd be like, okay, is this support, or excuse me, is this resistance? Is this weak? Do I put it on this one? Do I do this? Do I do that? Well, with this chart type, very clear, right? Just split the difference there. I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to look for the next level, right, where the market popped up. Obviously, this right here, very good level because it came all the way down here, popped up to here, went up to here. I could probably put a level there. So if you're struggling with support and resistance like I was, this was a game changer because these levels are way more attractive. I do want to keep an eye. I know we have some pending orders. Okay, so we should be good. We have some pending orders on a few of these pairs, but the these levels are more attractive versus trying to figure out where if my support, because I always felt like when I would put support levels on my chart, it always felt like the market would blow through those levels. They'd be like, man, what's going on? Is this support or not? But yeah, we'll look at silver in a second. How long do you hold a trade? Usually, it depends. It does depend on the opportunity. Like we were in this Bitcoin trade here from this Friday, and then after this day, because it had reached our plan. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if we have the idea on here. Yeah, we were in that, and so this is 1, 2, 3 days of hold, but really the time frame of holding it depends on the idea and on the plan, and this was the first level of resistance. I didn't, of course, we don't know when the market is going to have a day like this. We anticipate that it'll make its way to that level. So that was basically a 4-day hold technically because we did get in on Friday. And then we got out on this candle because that was a very good day on that trade. Similar to Cardano, but we didn't stay in that one as long because the pips weren't as juicy. But yeah, so it just depends on the market. But at the same time, what I like about using the Rinko pattern, the chart, is this will tell you. Typically, let me say it this way. I've held it sometimes. So let's say, for instance, you saw this buy here. You can hold it until you get a reverse break. That's one strategy. You can hold your trade until you get a reverse break. Now, take that with a grain of salt because these bricks will have projection bricks. So unless it's basically what I'm referring to is a solid brick. Okay. Let me see if I can show you what a projection brick would look like. Let's just say, let's drop it down a little bit. So this may have some, no, it's not showing any projection bricks. Let's do 100. And this is not the brick size that I would use, but this is what's considered to be a projection brick, right? So when you use that chart type, you'll notice that there are bricks that are solid, and then there are bricks, depending on how you have the properties of the chart set up, there are projection bricks. And so this is technically a projection brick, but to the point that I was making is if you're looking at, okay, should I continue to hold it? Traditionally speaking, you should be able to hold it from where you, let's just say you got it in down here. You would look for a reversal brick to say, okay, this is when I'm going to get out. And so, I mean, that's a day. Yeah, that's a good day of trading. And I'm saying that generally speaking, because this would be a trade that you would have gotten in on basically on Friday with us, and you would still be in it technically. So we could have technically held that a little bit longer, but because the original plan was to take it here, and this is where the initial target came from, was this level right here. And so let me show you, because that's going to match up with where we got out on that day. And so this was the original target, and the market blew through that, and so that's why we got out this day. But we based that on the structure, and that was the next level down. And you can see right here the market did a double tap and then broke through. And so on the way up, we're like, okay, well, if and it may have hung out. We'll take a look, but the first target was here, right? And because the market had recently come from there, it's already, generally speaking, it's already cleared this level, right? It's already cleared that level, but respectfully, it could have still stopped there, right? It still could have taken its time to get above that. And so let me just kind of show you and delineate the levels there. But yeah, it really just blew through both of them, and that's how we set up that trade to make it worthwhile to stay in it. Let me see. So what time value? Okay, let me be more of a breakdown, because technically with Renko, you don't take time into the equation. And I know that sounds a little bit strange, but let me bring up the video, and then we'll put the link. I'll put the link in the chat for the video, because that's going to give you more insight on how to use that more effectively. I use it with gold. It's brilliant with gold. Silver is brilliant if you like to trade those. Oil, it works on all instruments, in my opinion. It works on all instruments. So there's two videos. One of them is more recent. Is talking about breaking down. Here, let me share this. It's talking about breaking down winning trades on oil. We'll put this one in the chat. And then there's another one that's a more extensive, it's more of a training video that you can watch on how we come up with the box sizes. But to answer your question, technically Renko doesn't take time into the equation. And so the bricks are calculated based on price and the movement of price. And so that's how it's different from a traditional candlestick. It's different from a traditional daily chart. And even though it says we're on the daily chart, that's not necessarily meaning that it's a daily candle. You know what I mean? It's not even if you switch to 15-minute, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a 15-minute candle. It's literally showing you these bricks paint as the market makes said move. So let's just say, like on this one, we have it set up on a 500 brick or 500 pip brick. So every time the market moves, and it's not necessarily micro, that's not this conversation, but every time we have a quote unquote 500, technically $500, 500 pip move, it's going to paint a brick. Now you can use an automatic setting, but in that video, I believe we go over the settings that I use for oil, and also the settings for gold. But yeah, definitely check that out. And there's another one. We'll find that one, and I'll put that one in the chat as well, because to me, Renko cleared up a lot of the confusion on okay, what do I where do I put this level? I always struggled with support and resistance because it seemed like the market was always at support and resistance. It seemed like I'm like, what? It's always at support and resistance. It's always. So let me just see if we can find that video real quick together. Let's see. I'm pretty confident it's gonna say, it'll say Renko. You can also search. I know I can search for it, but it is, I don't mind just kind of looking real quick. I thought it was a newer one, but. Oh, this one too. This one answered that question where you were talking about NFP, using Renko to help out with NFP. But this one is going to be right here. This is the one I would say. I'm going to drop this one. So I'm glad you asked that, because this is definitely, and this one also, fantastic. Gives you a breakdown of using Renko and how to determine your box size. So this one is a little bit more, and this goes over what I consider to be my strategy for trading Renko. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that helps. So that breaks it down to the T on how to use Renko to be more successful, and what I look for as far as the patterns go. So yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking. That's a fantastic question. Yeah, no problem. Because for me, like I said, it was a game changer. I was like, yo, this is a lot less stressful to try to break down. So let's keep going with the pair. So we were looking at Forex pairs, and we threw the crypto in there a little bit, where it could possibly go. We see it approaching, and it probably is already rejected off of this level, right? And so here's where some people, they might have started buying, right? I mean, and that's the mindset. And I know I don't doubt that Bitcoin will do well. I don't doubt that it's going to reach 100,000, right? I don't doubt that it's going to go higher. But at the same time, we do have some levels in here that we have to look at. And so the next one approaching is 68,000. It went up to 68,000 and turned around, right? And so that would be, to be buying right now wouldn't be my jam. I would prefer to see the market do a reversal pattern like this, and then participate in a trade. So especially because, again, we were in it over here and then we got out. So that is Bitcoin. Ethereum. So similar setup as far as the W pattern on the daily chart. But right now it's not showing anything. It kind of looks like it wants to turn over, right? If we split this down the center right here, looks like it wants to turn over and maybe retest, and we'll see. But I'm not interested in jumping in right away. This one I'm more interested in. You can see I already have that plan on there, and I know we set up some pending orders. I don't know if they haven't gotten activated yet. Yeah, they haven't gotten activated. So, but this is a general plan for that one. You can trade that at your own risk, or you can watch it. I would just say, if you've never, I primarily swing trade. So if you've never held a trade, I would say just pay attention and watch it. But this is the idea, and this was more than likely using Renko levels to determine this would be our next target. This is about a 1 to 2.5, but it could go lower. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Euro Canadian dollar, not really doing anything. Probably can continue down. That's what I see. So this one, Euro JPY, that's ugly. It really is. I didn't get into this trade today, um, but this was an idea that we had on here. So it looks like at some point during the day it came down and then pulled back. So it's still this plan isn't invalidated. It's just it's there. But I'm not really a fan of trading Euro JPY. It's just not my jam. I can totally see this one pulling down, but to where? Maybe here. Let's look at the chart. And you'll see me changing these brick sizes, but that video, it'll go over why I do that and kind of set you up for success on how to determine what brick size you should be using. But since these pairs are pairs that I frequently trade, that's why you'll see me changing them. So this is quite interesting. It's a really tricky spot because it's a level right here that is already tapped off of twice. Um, Not enough bricks to consider this to be a reversal brick according to my strategy. So I wouldn't be interested in doing anything with this one just because it's already, so the market ran up to this level and it double tapped, but it's not showing me. I don't know which way it wants to go just yet. You know what I mean? Like I could totally see it coming back up here and then going higher, but especially because it's making these steps. So higher low, higher low. Is this a higher low? So I wouldn't be jumping into that, even though on the daily chart, yeah, it's nothing spectacular. So this one is looking pretty good. Euro Norwegian krona. So that's, we'll see if it completes this plan. It could pull back some to this level here and then set up and go higher, but nothing yet. This one, it looks like a trick. It looks like it wants to go higher. So this one, let me go back to this. And I know I'm a little bit biased because of, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, thank you for joining. Happy to share the wisdom and hopefully you can avoid some of the mistakes I was making with support and resistance. So I appreciate that. Um, I'm a little biased on the euro pairs. So I can see this being a trap. I can see some people thinking that this is a quote unquote, it's not though. You know, it's not an engulfing candle. This wick is way too large. Um, and then this whole week has pretty much been going sideways. So I'm not really interested in that. But I think this is fake. I think it's going to go higher. I think it's going to go higher. Euro czar, same thing with her. She's really been going sideways. Today it was up here and it came back down and it closed below this area. So this one could potentially go. This could go down. It sure could. But it's just a funky. It's a funky setup. And then my broker. No, this is Eurozar. Well, no, my broker doesn't. So one of the funding challenges that we have, they don't have this pair, and my other broker does not have GBP. Sorry, so that's that on that. But it's just funky. I'm not feeling this. This is just an area of consolidation all the way from here. You know what I mean? It's just going sideways. So, and this is an exotic pair, so I wouldn't be jumping in at all. Let me give me 1 second. Let me make sure we're still getting some light in here. I'm gonna pause this for 1 second so that we can make sure we're good to go. Make sure we're good to go. I'm gonna give me some fruit. Okay, we're back. Had to give me some fruit. Yeah, had to give me some fruit. Yeah. So, GBP AUD. Let me go back. Okay. Interesting. It's an interesting setup. The only thing I don't like about this is that it closed in kind of like the midway through, and then even to let's see, so that's about, let's call it 130. Yeah, it closed like halfway. Yeah. Mm. This could have just been a liquidity grab, honestly, because this whole move is sideways, and so it could have just came back to grab some money out of this, and then it could continue higher. Yeah, I don't see that going down, but I wouldn't. I'm not really interested in playing with that game because there's nothing on there. So this was GBP Canadian dollar. Fantastic day. The day before yesterday, which was, today is Thursday, Wednesday. Pull back today. Look at where it pulled back to. Let's take a look at the wrinkle. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Not really seeing anything jump out right away. Okay. So unless, let's just say, we'll set this up like this, which this is a drop, so we got to keep that in mind. Unless the market comes back in this zone right here. And so this is kind of going back to that question we were when you were asking how long do you hold it. So let's say, for instance, you were in the trade and then you got a reversal brick. That would be an indication to get out because it could continue higher. But and this is technically a projection brick. So but at the same time, it gave us a solid brick today, the 17th. So this would be an indication. Let's say you were in this trade. Yeah, because this could have just been a profit taking. Could have been. And it could also go down. That's the tricky part. Of course, we don't control the market. We just pick up the breadcrumbs. We pick up the breadcrumbs and see what's what. GBP NZD. This one, so we had an alert on this level, but it didn't get triggered. So we're paying attention, waiting. That's the 4 hour. So we're going to switch to the day. Yeah, I mean, nothing happening here, but this was to I like to use alerts. Do you all use alerts to be able to walk away from charts? I was saying this in a live the other day. I don't always do pending orders because sometimes, like if I would have I would have did a pending order on this, it would have got stopped out. So sometimes when I don't want to do a pending order because I'm still on the fence about whether a trade is going to go or not, I'll use the alert in TradingView so that I'm notified on when that what happens, right? So even if it is a level that I'm interested in, instead of putting in a sell stop or depending on the market, a sell limit or buy limit, buy stop, whatever in TradingView, which I think is fantastic because it'll send you an alert on the app. You can set up if you want it to be crossing down, crossing up, moving up this amount, this percent. So that's still active. So it hasn't triggered this plan. So it could turn around. It really could. Let me just take a look and see what's what. And it could also just come back down and then do something weird. So it's nothing immediate on that at all. GBP USD. This is weird. It's a weird candle. Who knows? I don't like the force, but obviously it's back at this level. So to sell it, and this is a major psychological level. So to sell it, you might want to wait until it comes back to this level. And it might not come back to that level, but I wouldn't be interested. Yeah, because what we might see is it might pull back and then go down. But yeah, I'm not interested in getting into that right away. I don't even know why that's there. That's not even. So this was another one that we trade. Let's show you. Let me go back so we can talk about it. So this one, beautiful trade. And then this is combining my favorite, my two quote unquote edges. So one edge is double tops. And this is also on the Renko chart, which is very strong. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go back and take a look. We were in this trade. I'll show you on the chart because one of these days it just, we got out on this day. We got in up here, and this day we were in drawdown, and for the whole day, but it didn't breach the stop, right? Because the stop would have been above the above this level. So held that trade. This day happened. So of course, on a day like that, you're like, okay, sheesh, you was playing with me before. That's what I thought. Nah, so it don't always happen that way. Don't. It was just like for real. But the way that I trade, I mean, I don't close a trade out until the end of the day, regardless of what happens, unless there's some sort of catalyst to the market or some sort of news or something impacting that market. So held it. This day happened. Fantastic. No reason to get out. This day, slow day, obviously, and then held it through this day. And when I think I made a lie. When I woke up this day, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, let's get it. And so that was a part of the first target. Let me go back and show you. So it was somewhere in here. The target was like basically here. So we're just clearing the levels on where it came down from, and it could have been a combination of here and here just to kind of split the difference. But yeah, see, it came right to that level, so it was like, okay, see ya, thank you, nice doing business with you, Hashitashi, we out, Hashitashi. No reason to stick around, Hashitashi, we out. So that was that really good trade, and continued to go down for about a week after that. Yeah. So, but right now could go back down. Nothing immediate. GBP JPY. So we were talking about Euro JPY. I'm just not feeling this. This is not attractive to me. But it could pop up. Now this one I like a little bit better. But it's just still something about it. Now this could pop up. This really could pop off and do its thing. But GBP JPY is so unpredictable. No, that's not it. That's too small. I mean, it don't suck. So the stop would be here. I have to pay attention to that. I still don't like it. I might have to throw this up a little bit higher. It's still a little too smooth. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, that changes a lot. That really does. That really does change a lot. This could definitely be the start. Some magic brewing. This could be the start of something new. So I would set up something like this. Let's just put a line there because this is technically where we would start this trade. That's not bad. It's really not that bad. And I would do a little bit of deep dive. And it's already pretty much, so this is breaking into this large quarter, major large quarter point. It's hanging around this halfway, at least to here would be a good target to see it come there. And obviously this is super advantageous. Looking at the chart, I probably would clean it up a little bit and put it like maybe here. Probably would put it here. Obviously, this level is going to be important. It's going to be of significance. So that's interesting. Yeah. She could pop up. She really could. Is she ready to go? Perhaps. That's not ugly. That's not ugly. That's not ugly. GBPs are similar to Euros are. It's really just kind of messy in here. It's just choppy. It's going back and forth. Nothing clear. NZD Canadian dollar. Oh. It's ugly. These are all my opinions. This is not an attractive lady. I don't like her. New Zealand dollar. So look at how, so this is like a macro W, but this has been going sideways for so long that, is it setting up? Is it setting up to go higher? Is it setting up to, who knows? I would love to tell you, well, my crystal ball is broken. It broke. So this is interesting. I like GBP better than this, so I'm not gonna waste my time and mark that up. I don't like that one. New Zealand dollar. Nothing to see here. Now it'd be nice if this came up tomorrow and then maybe on Monday would give an opportunity. Might be an opportunity in that opportunity. Let's see here. Or not. It could keep going down. It really could. Nope. Next. Moving on. I don't like to catch it when it's already done. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like to come late. This one could be a setup. This could be a setup where it looks to be an engulfing candle. And it could not. This bug been running up for a while. Look at this. It's been running up since September the 27th. It went straight up too. Just straight up. It was a beautiful thing. And I didn't see it at all. And I was like, yeah, that's a level. And pay attention. I'm paying attention to this brick here because it had a wick on it. So that's an interesting level for it to be at. Yeah, look at this. So that's 38. Interesting. 1.38. I know some people are probably anxious to buy that though. That's really interesting. Probably anxious to buy that. I would be more interested in seeing it reject from that level and then selling it. That's what I'd be interested in because it'll be a nice M. It'd be a beautiful M. Beautiful. Because it's got nothing but space and opportunity in this John. It's nothing but space. But that's bias for you. It could totally break that and go higher. But then it's like, where would it go to? It's basically here. So you might get 2 bricks. Maybe 3. Some people say it's worth it. It could be. So USD JPY. So that one. So that plan completed. This was from back here. Where was it? Pretty sure. And I got out of this trade because it was just it was weighing on my patience. We got in here, and then this happened, and it was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then this day, and it was like, and I didn't close this one out. Normally, I would have closed it out because it did go a little bit below the stop. But I was like, let me just wait. Because something about this was like, let me just wait. I don't believe that. And then this day, and I was like, okay. And then this day, and then we got out. But it just was weighing on my patience. I don't typically trade UJ. Mexican peso. That's an interesting candle. To reject from $20 like that, that's very interesting. Very interesting. To reject from $20 like that, that's interesting, bud. Oh no, I meant to hit okay on that. Interesting. I like my trading to be low key. I don't like a lot of riffraff. I don't like a lot of noise. Yeah, interesting. This could continue. It could certainly continue. But the only thing I don't like about where it is right now is that this is much wider than I would want to put risk, right? So it's just kind of looking at where it is to where it could turn around to, because it just came from 20, and that is very wide. So entering here is it's wider than I would like. And I already said I don't like to play with Mexican peso because she does not forgive. Now this is interesting. This could turn over. But successful trade nonetheless. I mean, this is I would say this is pretty much completed. So we'll take that off and we'll move on, because that was a macro W. Very very juicy. It's probably easier to see on a higher time frame. Yeah, you can see macro W, which beautiful trade. Loved it. USD ZAR. This probably is our last one. This is our last pair. So USD ZAR, this was the plan from yesterday. And yeah, it went all the way up here and then pulled back to close in this area. So who knows what this lady want to do. This lady is indecisive. So that was our guide for today, and it was a decent day, and so now it's just back. So that's where we are, coming to a close. I'm gonna see. I don't think we had pending orders on this one. It hasn't activated yet, but other than that, I appreciate you for hanging out with me this Thursday. Thank you for the questions. We had a really good dialogue. If this is your first time looking at Renko charts, really good dialogue. Go back and watch the live, because we talked about using Renko to streamline where you put your support and resistance levels. It helps out a lot. I used to struggle with support and resistance all the time until I found quarters theory, and I mixed that with Renko, and chef's kiss. So just in case you were wondering, we are currently doing a flash sale on all of the training programs. So if you are interested in getting trained by me and my team, head over to thebillionairetradingclub.com. That flash sale will go away quickly, so make sure you act. We teach you everything from entering the market to market structure to trading psychology. Those courses are now available on the website. You don't have to put in any special codes. Just head over to thebillionairetradingclub.com and you will automatically take advantage of that. Also, if you're looking to support the channel, You can check the link in the description below. Our funding partner is offering a phenomenal deal right now on your first 10K in profit. You're paid out 100%. And so if you're mixing that with solid trading psychology, $10,000, that's something that you can do. They just started instant funding challenges. So it's a lot of success surrounding you, my friend. A lot of success, a lot of opportunities to be under the right methodology and with the support that you need to actually be successful. We had a trader earlier this week that got paid out almost $4,000. It was around $3,700. Payouts happen pretty instant I don't say instant, but pretty quickly, paid out within 24 hours of requesting it. So bar none, check them out. The link is in the description. It does support the channel. You can also buy me coffee if you want. There are a bunch of links that you need to be successful. As always, very happy to share this time and to share just a moment of a different way of trading, because I do believe that trading successfully is 95% mental and 5% technical, meaning the stuff that we went over is 5% of your success. The way that you think, your self-image, your mental skills, your money mindset, that makes up 95% of your success. And so a lot of times people are chasing after that 5%. The strategy, I can teach you that. And you probably already have a strategy. But really, when you look at your success over time, think about how many times you've seen your strategy work. So it's not the strategy, right? I always say you are the indicator. You are the strategy. And so if there's something that we can do to tweak your mindset, to turn on the light within you that helps you to find the success that you know you rightfully deserve, it's just a consistency button. Boop. I just turn it on. We turn it on. That's the light, my sage. We turn that light on in you, because to educate means to draw it out. It's hard to draw out. And that's what I'm here to do. Been coaching people prior to teaching trading. I was coaching people in corporate America. Okay? Corporate America. Coaching, training, and development is my professional specialty. And I just have a passion. I have an engineering background. So it's very easy for me to take complicated topics and break it down to the bare basics, to the ABC, right? That's what I do. And I make it fun and sometimes boring. Honestly, trading it's going to get boring once you are doing the same thing over and over. It really does. Life is exciting, as you can probably tell. But trading, once you start getting a certain type of consistency in your trading, it's like you're just mechanically going through what you need to do, like we just did with the charts, just going through and saying, okay, do I see it? So again, if you're interested in supporting the channel, by all means you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can share it with your friends, you can go back and watch. There are a couple of videos that we put in the chat that will give you more insight on using Rinko successfully. We talked a little bit about trading NFP and trading news events. So happy to help, happy to see you get funded. And with that being said, to your success. And we'll be back tomorrow with trading. So take care.